Penguin Random House Audio presents The House Swap by Rebecca Fleet. Read for you by Elizabeth Knowelden and Elliot Hill.
The key slides and turns in the lock, as smooth and slippery as a silverfish. Lying in bed last night, staring at the trembling shadows of the branches grazing the window, and thinking of this moment, I thought it would be harder. I imagined scratching metal, jarring resistance. After everything that has led me here, it feels as if it should be more of an effort. But it's easy. An anticlimax, even. An eggshell cracked in the hand and tossed aside. The door swings open, and the pine wood boards of the hallway unfurl ahead, gleamingly polished and clean. Just inside, stiff, dark branches, studded brightly with plastic-looking berries, protrude from an ornamental vase. Reflected in the mirror, I can see a row of framed photographs lining the far wall. Stepping inside and closing the door softly shut behind me, I move fast through the hall, keeping my back to the wall. I won't look at them. Not yet. Soon. The country-style kitchen, oddly out of place in this third-floor city flat, is decorated in pale green, artfully hung with saucepans and dried bunches of herbs. On the oak table lies a torn-out piece of paper darkly scrawled with ink. "Welcome," it reads. "Instructions for all appliances in the green folder in the lounge. Bread, milk, etc. in the fridge. Help yourself. Do call if you need anything. Enjoy your stay and make yourself at home. Caroline." I stare at her name for a long time. The confident slash of the C, the spatter of ink where the dot of the I has bled across the page. I touch that spatter with the ball of my thumb, half expecting it to rub off on my skin. But of course, it has long since dried up. At last, I get up and make a cup of coffee. I will do as Caroline invites. I will make myself at home. I drink it sitting at the table, imagining the rooms still to be explored. The secrets that might be tucked inside them, tightly curled up in her possessions and ready to be extracted. I remember the fox I saw crouched by the roadside as I drove past this morning, digging into some unidentifiable corpse. The sharp flash of blooded silver on its claws as it teased out what it wanted. This will be like that. Dirty, unpleasant. That's the way it has to be. The way I want it. It's the only way to get under the skin.
Away. Caroline, May 2015. When we turn into the street, my first thought is that the houses around here all look the same. Neat, whitewashed rectangles with boxy little windows and flatly sloping roofs. They almost all have window boxes too, lined up along the lower sills and filled uniformly with white and purple pansies, like they're subject to some sort of dress code. There must be around 30 of these houses, all prettily popped off the production line. "Welcome to suburbia," Francis says, squinting through the setting sun that strikes the windscreen as he steers the car down the road. "I hope you're happy." His voice is deliberately grumpy, self-mocking. "It's not so bad." The reply is automatic, made before I have had the chance to consider whether or not I mean it. It happens between us a lot these days, this kind of conversational fast-tracking, cut and thrust, back and forth, adversarial but non-threatening, like two children mildly squabbling in the playground. Francis glances at me out of the corner of his eye, makes a face. I stare out of the window, taking in the line of houses again as we crawl down the narrow road. Now that I look more carefully, I can see the little touches of individuality that some of the owners have tried to impart. A garishly painted garage door here, a smart gold number plaque there. One of the houses, number 14, is a little less smart than the others, its walls scuffed faintly with dirt, the lawn longer and more overgrown, tangled with weeds. They're letting the side down, I say, gesturing out of the window. Neighbourhood watch will be onto them. Francis smiles faintly, not really listening. 21, right? He asks, already swinging the car into the driveway. I scan the house, looking for distinctive features, but there are none. The lawn is precisely clipped, and the windows are framed with little bunches of curtain, white and spotless. The lights inside are off, and for an instant I see the reflection of the car bounced back at us from the downstairs window in the glare of the headlights, our shadows inside darkly outlined side by side. For some reason, the sight gives me a tremor of unease, a slight, irrational pulse that slips away as soon as it comes. Looks all right, I say, wriggling out of my seatbelt and pushing open the car door. It's colder outside than I imagined, the wind prickling the hairs on the back of my neck. Francis is climbing out of the driver's seat, making a pantomime of his aching legs. The drive down from Leeds has taken a little over 4 hours, not a bad run, but long enough to breathe that fusty, lethargic sense of having been enclosed and motionless for too long. In the old days, we would have shared the drive, but not long after I stopped offering, he stopped asking. Yeah, as far as it goes. Couple more hours and we could have been in Paris, Francis says mournfully, grinning at me. Romantic walks along the Champs-Élysées, nice cup of café au lait and a croissant would have hit the spot right about now. I know, I admit, but it just felt too complicated and a bit far to go, leaving Eddie and all that. Think of it as a trial this time round. See how it works. Maybe next year. This is old ground. Right from the start, Francis's plans for this week away had been more ambitious than mine. Still, his enthusiasm had spiraled out of nowhere when I had tentatively floated the idea of a house swap, lurching from apathy to manic energy in the space of seconds. He had been so appreciative of what he saw as my initiative that I had shrunk back from telling the truth, that I had signed up to the house swap site on an idle whim months ago and forgotten about it. I had only seen the message notification by chance, sifting through my spam folder in search of a mislaid communication from a friend. Someone wants to swap with you. It was an intriguing little hook, tugging me forward. I clicked on the link, and there it was, a polite, featureless message from someone who signed themselves S. Kennedy, expressing an interest in our Leeds city centre flat and offering their Chiswick house in exchange, if a suitable time could be found. I had flicked through the pictures of number 21 Everdene Avenue, the unremarkable decor and the cool, pale walls, the nicely kept front lawn, but in truth, I had barely taken them in. All I could think was that here was a chance for a change of scene at minimal expense, a week away for just the two of us, if my mother could take Eddie. Close enough to London for sightseeing day trips, far enough out of the centre to feel like a break from city life. We had toyed with the idea of a holiday in Spain months ago and abandoned it. Too much money and too much effort, or at least so we had told each other. Perhaps Francis, too, had been secretly daunted by the implications of an exotically hot hotel room and candlelit evenings on a mimosa-scented terrace. Francis is ferreting beneath the plant pots at the side of the house, locating the key. "Brace yourself," he says, brandishing it. "This is where we find out if they've left a load of dead bodies festering in the kitchen." I roll my eyes, ignoring the sudden decisive shudder that passes down my spine. Ridiculous as his words are, I can't help feeling all at once that it is a weak...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?